Hey Gemini, welcome to Dark Eve Tarot. I'm Eve, and we're going to get you a message. We're going to look at three things. We're going to look at something you should keep to yourself, and something trying to find you, and then we will look at an escape. For Gemini, oh, well, I'm going to cut the cards. I can't take the fallouts because we're doing it in a specific order. If they are going to come out, then that's where they will be cut. All right. All right, something to keep to yourself. Ooh, okay. So we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So that could just be like not bragging about your all the good things that are going on for you. But let's grab some tarot here, other tarot. Let's see what that's about. Oh, there we go. Oh, this looks more like a Y. So you have the Nine of Swords here. It's almost like if you advertise the good fortune that you're having, then either people are going to want a piece of it or they're going to pick it apart. So we have the Four of Rings here, which is again it's another card. It's a card about keeping something close to you. Keeping it to yourself. So that's interesting. We have the Magician here, which is you. It's kind of like telling you that you had a lot to do with whatever this good thing that happened. It had a lot to do, like you manifested it, or you you helped create that good fortune. So it's also important not to let whatever these little knives are that other people are kind of throwing at you, don't let that interfere. This is actually pretty nice. We have the Seven of Rings here, which means that you're headed in the right direction, Gemini. You are making things happen. But yeah, you really need to pay attention to what you are revealing to people and what you are keeping to yourself. It's almost like the more you keep a lid on certain successes, the more they will progress, because we have the Seven of Rings here, which is a nice progression, because even here you're going from the Four of Rings to the Seven of Rings, and it's like going steady, keep progressing. Because you want to get to the Eight of Rings, you want to get to the Nine of Rings. So let's get the next section here, which is something trying to find you. Oh, High Priestess. Wow. Okay. So Gemini, you could very well be spending a lot of time in your head here. Like, you like relying on logical thoughts, perhaps, because the High Priestess is super intuitive. It's the most, to me, it's the most intuitive card in the deck. Like psychic abilities, and like tuning in, using your third eye, that kind of thing. It's almost like you haven't been paying attention. It's like your psychic self is trying to find you, trying to get your attention. It could also mean that there is something beyond the veil, something on the spirit side that's trying to get into contact with you, but you're just not receiving the message. You're not noticing it, or you're not getting the hints, or the things that they're leaving for you, or something like that. Oh, I kind of like this devil card here. It's the devil, and but what the devil is doing is, it looks as if he is like helping this angel. And so there's a lot here about your dark side and your light side here, Gemini, and how it's okay to let your dark side help out your light side. It's all, just like it's okay to help, for your light side to help out your dark side. It's, of course, there's that balance, right? But it's like, don't be afraid of your dark side. Perhaps that's how you're interpreting these signs, or like, it makes me think of someone who is like, maybe when they hear about paranormal things, or like they just assume everything's a demon or something. But it's not the case. It's not the case. Yeah, we have this Knight of Swords, and it almost looks as if there is something, maybe that appears a little bit dark, or maybe a little bit scary, but they're on their way. It's like they're trying to find you. But again, it's like, it doesn't feel like a negative entity or anything like that. Like, I feel absolutely comfortable right now, kind of tapping into this. This is a it's not a foe, it's a friend, or you know what I mean. This is something on your side, something that wants to help you. Oh yeah, and then we have temperance here, because we just talked about the balance, right? The balance between your dark side and your light side. They both need a voice. Oh, and then we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, that's awesome, because, Gemini, this is telling me that there are many different options here for you to communicate with whatever this spirit is, or could be spirit guide, could be, like a god or a goddess, or an ascended master, or whatever. Like, some member of your spirit team is definitely trying to get in touch with you here, and there are multiple ways. So it's not like, well, like how there's multiple clairs with psychic senses. It's like, if you're not seeing it with your, if you're not seeing it in visions, well, listen up. Maybe it's auditory, or maybe it's this special feeling, like this tingle up your spine or whatever, that some special feeling you get when a certain thing happens. I think if you paid attention to just the little things, you will be able to figure it out because you're a smart cookie here. And I do see that you do have 777 right here. So let's look at the last row, which is an escape. And it doesn't have to be your escape, it could be someone else escaping, it's just an escape. Ooh, look at that, escaping into the woods. This is the Seven of Wands. Okay, this feels like a place that one would go when they are feeling hurt. Doesn't have to be like a forest. It can be just a private place. Or it could be like a convalescence kind of thing. Like, I'm kind of getting more of the where you go to lick your wounds kind of thing. Or where one would go. Well, we'll take those. King of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? So we have the King of Cups, who's like super emotionally like well balanced, right? Emotionally intelligent. And so we've got this like it's like there's this place that is a little bit secluded where where you or someone goes to lick your wounds, to like kind of gather your senses, gather your thoughts. So it is kind of a safe place, but it's not populated at all. I mean, it could just be your bedroom or something, you know what I mean? But it's like you use it to kind of gather your emotions together. I don't know if this is just because, Gemini isn't really a sign that's known for emotional outbursts or like relying on their emotions to make decisions a lot. They're usually, to me, the Geminis I know, super logical. It's like if, you know what I mean? So it's like if you're not feeling like things are making sense, it's like you gotta go seclude yourself, gather your thoughts, get shit straight. You know what I mean? And then here we have the Seven of Wands. Isn't that interesting? You have 777. So the Seven of Wands, that is a card of self-defense, standing your ground, right? And it's really difficult to stand your ground when you're just, you're feeling a little wobbly and you're not in your right mind, kind of. Let me cut for the other two. Yeah, because if you're not stable enough to stand on your own, um, you're gonna feel like a newbie here. We have the Page of Wands. It's like you barely enough firepower to keep going. You know what I mean? All right, so we have the Nine of Wands here, which is kind of like that wounded warrior thing. So it's like you've been around the block. You kind of know how this works for you, and so whatever this safe place is or this place you go to escape that's a little bit secluded, it just could be just a private place in your own mind where no one can bother you. But you've done it before. I'm seeing that you've done this more than once and it works for you. And and I do like that the Nine of Wands has all of these sunflowers. I don't really ever see sunflowers on the Nine of Wands. It's more of like I see sunflowers on the Queen of Wands and like maybe maybe the happier cards, right? Because like that's kind of like sunshine and happiness. So it does something. It does something for you. All right, Gemini. So this is your message. Just take what resonates, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Gemini.